By any chance, do you get sexually aroused by an object, a person, or situation in a very uncommon or unusual way? Oh no, that might be types of sexual expression called paraphilia. Hello and mabuhay. I'm Jason Lopez, and for today's video, I am going to talk regarding a very serious matter, which is all about the paraphilic disorders and paraphilia.
Whereas, when we say paraphilic disorders, according to Very Well Mind, paraphilic disorders are a group of mental health conditions that cause frequent and intrusive sexual thoughts, fantasies, and behaviors.
On the other hand, according to goodtherapy.org, when we say paraphilias, just like what I've said a while ago, it describes a sexual interest in something that is not typically considered sexually arousing. On the other side, did you know that there are two types of paraphilia, which is the non-coercive and coercive paraphilia? The examples of non-coercive paraphilias are the following. While these are the example of coercive paraphilias. And to know more about the examples of non-coercive and coercive paraphilias, kindly watch the next contents after this video. Bye!
Hello everyone, I'm Hannah Angel Maliksi, and for more in-depth comprehension regarding non-coercive paraphilias, I'm going to state some examples. But before that, let's briefly define the meaning of non-coercive paraphilia. Is, to make it precise, non-coercive paraphilia are said to be solo activities which involves the participation of consenting adults and is often non-harmful. For a few examples, we have transvestic disorder and sexual sadism, whereas transvestic disorder occurs when an individual experiences recurrent, intense sexual arousal upon cross-dressing or dressing as the opposite gender, and in which that person's urge to do causes significant distress or impairment to their daily life. On the other hand, sexual sadism is infliction of physical or psychological suffering, example, humiliation and terror on another person to stimulate sexual excitement and orgasm. Sexual sadism disorder is sexual sadism that causes significant distress or significant functional impairment or is acted on with a non-consenting person.
A pleasant day to everyone. How are you? I am Dr. Nina Videla Cruz, your psychiatrist for today's episode. And we're going to talk about the tips on how to avoid this kind of problems. This topic is indeed very crucial nowadays, especially to all young audiences and adults out there. This video will be great help for you guys to know what to do if you have ever encountered these circumstances in public or private places. Exhibitionism, the version of sexual gratification through compulsive display of one's genital. It is regarded as deviant behavior when it takes place outside the context of intimate sexual relation. Exhibitionists are not usually dangerous, although the experience is frequently perceived by the victim as threatening, violence, or sexual assault seldom follows the display. Voyeurism is an act of touching or rubbing one's genital up against another person in a sexual manner without their consent, to derive sexual pleasure or reach orgasm. An essential characteristic of this disorder is that this behavior is repetitive. It can happen anytime, anywhere, often in public transportation such as bus, jeepney, trains, and etc. And now, let's proceed to voyeurism. Voyeurism involves becoming sexually aroused by watching an unsuspecting person who is disrobing, naked, or engaged in sexual activities. voyeuristic disorder involves acting on voyeuristic urges or fantasies, or being distressed by or unable to function because of these urges or fantasies. And here are some tips on how to avoid this kind of instances. First is you need to try to immediately leave that situation as calmly as possible. Second, you need to stay vigilant. Third, if you have cell phone or any gadgets with you, and you can take a video and use it as your evidence. And lastly, don't hesitate to call or go to the police station. Thank you.
Hello everyone, this is your favorite blogger, Alexa, and welcome to my blog. Today I'm going to talk about some topics that have been gaining increasing attention: the sexual masochism or the sadomasochism, the bondage, and the autoerotic asphyxia, wherein I'll be discussing each of the topic in detail and explore why they can be appealing to some. First, let's talk about the sexual masochism or the sadomasochism. This is a type of a sexual activity where one partner is a dominant and the other is a submissive. The dominant partner may give orders or inflict pain on the submissive partner, and the submissive partner may find pleasure in this. This type of activity involves the usage of bandage, which when someone is tied up or restrained, and may also involve certain types of role playing. Next, let's discuss bondage. This is a type of activity that involves restraining someone's body movement, which can be done with rope, handcuffs, or other type of restraining. This can be done for a variety of reasons, including sexual pleasure or to add an element of power play. And lastly, we have the autoerotic asphyxia. Autoerotic asphyxia is a form of a sexual stimulation in which the person intentionally deprives their brain of oxygen. According to Dr. Monpara and medically reviewed by Dr. Gandhi, a person suffocates themselves to achieve decrease in the level of oxygen to the brain, which induce a state of euphoria and dizziness, and lower their self-consciousness.
Someone's been watching her.
I feel filthy. I feel invaded.
Video voyeurism is the act of recording an individual in a private area without their consent. A private area would be a non-public space or a space where an individual would have a reasonable expectation of privacy. According to Republic Act number 995, Anti-Photo and Video Voyeurism Act of 2009. An act defining and penalizing the crime of a photo and video voyeurism, prescribing penalties therefore and for other purposes. An obscene phone call is an unsolicited telephone call where a person uses profane and or sexual language to interact with someone who may be known to them or may be a complete stranger. Making obscene telephone calls for sexual arousal or other sexual pleasure is known as telephone scatological. An obsession with children or sex objects, overt acts including taking sexually explicit photographs, molesting children, and exposing one's genitalia to children are all crimes. The problem with this crime is that pedophilia is treated as mental illness.